What's good YouTube, it's your boy DeMoose. I'm more than just a pen. Today's video we are going to be working on a do's and don'ts on how to draw realistic teeth. So that's what we're going to be doing, and hopefully you guys learn something from this video. I really hope you guys find it helpful, and if you do, make sure to give it a thumbs up. If you ain't already subscribed, subscribe to DeMoose Art, and if you have any other suggestions or what type of videos you would like to see, comment below. I'm here to listen. I heard you. Anyways, let's get into the video. I hope you guys enjoy it. Let's do this thing. So when it comes to the sketch, the first common mistake that I see is that the sketch is way too dark. Now, the reason why I advise people not to do the sketch dark is simply because the teeth are white. Teeth are more on the light end than the dark end when it comes to visual appearance. So drawing a sketch dark, it really doesn't make sense. It's just already you're in trouble, because you're like, okay, I'm drawing something that's light but my sketch is dark. How am I going to get back from that? So what I'd advise you guys to do is definitely sketch light, and even when your sketch is light enough, I advise you to take a rubber or something, a razor, to try and make it as light as possible, to the point where you visually can just about see it on the page. And that's your best bet if you're trying to make teeth realistic. Sketching it too dark already puts you into trouble, and that's something you do not want. Mistake number 2 is rushing the sketch. This is something that I see often, even when it comes to people that I know that are really good at drawing. They know how to get proportions right, they know how to do good shading and everything, but the sketch is rushed. And with the sketch being rushed, that leads to mistakes being made and your drawing also being off. And with the drawing being off from the get-go, it doesn't matter how good of a shader you are or how good you are coloring or anything like that, the sketch is off. The whole drawing is going to be off. So definitely take your time, sketch for 20 to 30 minutes if that's how long it takes you to get it right. Do that, don't rush it, please. Mistake number 3 is trying to draw each individual tooth with a dark layer, like dark line. This is no, we don't want this. You know, we were trying to create a realistic drawing, therefore this method and technique does not work. So do not try and draw each individual tooth with a black pen and press dark. No. Another mistake that I see is trying to make each individual tooth equal. Our teeth are not equal. You know, if you look at your teeth right now in the mirror, they're not equal. They're not 100% the same on each side. This is definitely a mistake that happens, and I don't blame people. Of course, they're probably thinking, you know, my teeth, yeah, they're balanced, it makes sense, but it doesn't make sense. So definitely don't try and think that all teeth are equal. Each one comes in different shapes and sizes, so definitely do not make that mistake. Another mistake that I see is the straight line in the middle, thinking that all teeth don't have our teeth naturally have natural curves because they get worn out over time from eating and all that stuff. So drawing a straight line is already unrealistic. That's not how our teeth work. Another mistake that I do see is not adding shading in the teeth. Like each individual tooth casts a shadow on the other, so it makes sense to add shading in the teeth. But again, I feel like the main reason why a lot of people do this as beginners or even some advanced people is because they haven't really mastered the control of the pen to the max. So trying to create like a light shadow inside each individual tooth can be a little bit scary and intimidating. So I do get it, but teeth do need to apply shading, and yeah, rushing the gums is definitely something I see often. Now that we are done with the don'ts part, we're going to move on to the do's part, because we want to forget the don'ts, don't we? What did I do there? I think I just did something. Anyways, let's get into the do's. So the first thing I do when it comes to drawing realistic teeth is make sure that my sketch is on point. And if you're looking at the screen now, you can just about see some lines. It's not very clear, but I have done a very light sketch in order to make sure that I don't mess around. That cloth that you guys just saw in is vital when it comes to drawing teeth, because when it comes to drawing teeth, you don't have the opportunity to be messing around and getting them blobs and everything. So wiping the pen is very, very important, and you need to be doing that every time you stop. Every time you stop, wipe the pen. I know this will take some time to get used to, But this is the main reason why I make tutorials like this, because I want you guys to get used to that whole wiping, to the whole applying layers and building up a drawing with layers, and not rushing. So that's why I thought, let me make a do's and don'ts on this teeth one, because it makes sense. And I feel like a lot of people make mistakes of forgetting to wipe their pen, pressing too hard. These are things you want to avoid when it comes to ballpoint pen drawing. As you can see, I'm really just building up layers and layers and layers. Nothing's rushed. I'm just taking my time and just really working around each individual tooth. And also another thing you probably notice is I haven't done every tooth in one go. You know, I'm building it up very nice and slow. Keyword there, slow. It's very, very important with ballpoint pen drawing. Patience game. That's what it is. It's a patience game, building up each section with layers and casting a shadow on each individual tooth. And the more layers you apply, as we're going through this, you start to see the teeth start to appear even more and more and more. And that's simply because I'm being patient. I'm taking each tooth with care and just building it up nice and slowly, constantly. I repeat, constantly looking at my reference photo. Your reference photo is there to guide you. Your reference photo is your best friend when it comes to drawing realistically. Use it, abuse it. Abuse the reference. This is the only time you're allowed to abuse anything. Abuse the reference photo, use it constantly, and keep looking at it. And something that you probably won't notice without me saying, but I'm going to say it now, and then you guys will start to notice this the more you guys watch my videos. So when it comes to doing light areas, you will notice that my hand is higher up on the pen. But when it comes to like these closed dark areas, I bring my hand closer to the nib. That's a little trick there for you guys. Bonus tip right there for you guys. So something you might want to try and apply. I feel like the reason why I do that is because the higher up I come on the pen is because it's more loose. The more loose of a control that I have, and the less likely I'm gonna press really hard, apply so much pressure when my high is high up on the pen, if that makes any sense. I still have control over it. I don't go to a point where the control is not there, but I go to a point where I know that regardless of how much I press, the ink that's gonna come out is not that much. So here we are going on to the bottom teeth. As you can see, the top teeth, the gums and everything is a little bit darker. Is because I spent an extra 20 to 30 minutes really just adding more and more layers to the point that I was happy. I always preach this. I don't think there's such a thing as a complete drawing. I just feel like the artist is like, I'm satisfied, I'm happy with it, let's move on. That's how I feel. Let me know in the comment section if you agree, if there's such a thing as complete art. So the bottom teeth have more of a darker shade throughout, simply because of lighting. Lighting is coming from above, so that's why the bottom teeth have more of a darker tone compared to the top teeth. Again, as you can see, each tooth I'm working on it one by one. Although they all have like a fairly same dark tone, I could have literally just gone straight throughout and just shaded the whole thing. But again, it's about control. It's easier to control a small section than it is to control a larger section. Again, mistake that a lot of people make, they try to cover up a certain amount of area, too big of an area at once, and that's when you're more likely to make mistakes. Whereas if you take a small section, do what you need to do in that section, then move on, then you are less likely to make mistakes. Again, this is a good thing because it makes you practice the whole remembering how much pressure you applied, how many layers you did when you're doing it each tooth individually, because you want it to be balanced. You don't want it to look off, like, oh, why is that tooth darker than that one? So this is also like a brain type of memory type of game as well. You know, you really have to remember the amount of pressure you applied, but that all comes with time and years of consistency, constantly practicing your craft. But teeth do have a tone. I know that, like you said, like I told you guys in the first one, that's something a lot of people neglect. They leave it out. When it comes to the don'ts, they don't add shading to the teeth, and that really takes it to another level. When it comes to realistic drawing, you need to add shading to your teeth. We are pretty much done. As like I told you guys, I always go back, add a little bit more to the point where I'm like, I like this. This looks nice. This is cool. And I'm happy with it. So yeah, that's pretty much all I want to say. If I missed out anything, I'll probably add in the comment section, but I don't think I missed anything. If you guys do have any questions, please ask me below and I will get back to you. If there's other do's and don'ts you would like to see as well, make sure to comment below. I'm here to help you guys. I want to provide value to guys. I want to teach you guys this craft and this tool that I love so much, the ballpoint pen, the greatest tool in the world. So there you have it for today's do's and don'ts video. I really hope you guys learned something from this video, got some good amazing tips in it. And if you want to see the real-time tutorial alongside 2 other teeth tutorial, one done in color ballpoint pens and one done in color pencils. I know that shocked you, right? You were thinking color pencils? I must have heard wrong. Nope, you heard right. I did a color pencil version as well. So make sure to head over to my Patreon. There is over 65 real-time tutorials on there available. The moment you sign up for $5, you get access to every single one of those and learn. Just get to learn more, and learn some more. And have my amazing voice behind it, right? No, my voice is dead. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Again, if you're new, make sure to subscribe, join the gang, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.